Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I've done a studio vlog, so I just pieced together the sort of random little videos I had kicking around on my phone. The image I'm working on here, as well as the footage at the beginning of this video, are from way back near the end of summer when my partner and I went camping. I had sort of sketched out the outfits I had worn while we were there. I mentioned this in my last sketchbook tour, but I didn't start inking them until we got back home. The camping trip was great. I always feel so refreshed when we go there. It's the same park we go to every summer, and it's just so lovely. I would probably live there if I were allowed to. But yeah, so some of this footage is kind of old, but I hope you enjoy it anyways. So I thought I would just quickly show you guys a couple things that I recently picked up at the art store. This is a Daniel Smith watercolor like test sheet. So basically you get like a little spit of watercolor and you obviously like use it. So you wet it on the paper because this is watercolor paper, and you get to see how the color behaves. So if you want to buy individual colors, you can. And I picked up this one because it's got all these crazy iridescent shades to it. They did have another one that was more of their like regular colors, but I wanted to try this one. I've never used the Daniel Smith, but I know that they're really high quality, and I wanted to try them before. Okay, somebody's on their motorcycle, it's super loud. I wanted to try them before I committed to buying them. But yeah, I'm excited about that. It'd be cool to see if I could even manage to like actually paint something with those. So this isn't super new. You've probably already seen this, but this is a, I don't even know how you say it, Lurealurea 1917 sketchbook. So this is my newest sketchbook that I bought for myself. It's pretty thick, it's pretty big. I am having a complete love affair with this sketchbook. Oh, are we going to be able to see the sirens? Amazing. As I've mentioned before, we live close to an emergency dispatch, so that happens a lot. So this is a newer sketchbook for me, and I love the paper quality on it so far. It's really smooth. There's like really no tooth to it, so I'm really enjoying using that at the moment, but I've like used it quite a bit. So this isn't super new, but I thought I'd include it anyways. And here, so I was doing some color swatches, and I actually managed to color swatch all these new Copic markers that I got. I'll just kind of clump them down there. So the ones that I picked up were the lipstick red, which is this this color here. I got apricot, which is a really beautiful vivid orange color. Peach, which is R32. So this peony color, this is the one that I am like most excited about, I think. Like, it's just such a nice deep red, and I don't have anything like that really, so I'm really happy about that color. This jade green is really nice. I also really like how Copic lids match their color pretty well. This is like maybe a little bit darker, but yeah. And then I also got the grayish lavender, the powder pink, and the lipstick natural. So those are the new colors. And then I also got this guy, which is a colorless blender. And I actually got it because I feel like when you use it, you can make your markers separate and like bleed a little bit, and I find it gives it a cool texture, kind of like watercolor, but not quite. So I'm interested to see kind of what I can do with that. And then this is just a micron. I needed a new one in 03. And then these two here are some new Colorless pencils. I got the crimson red and the lavender. Oh, sorry, is it carmine red, not crimson. These are just two new ones that I wanted to add for when I'm sketching. I find the Colorless lead doesn't smudge like graphite does, but with this sketchbook, I find because the paper's so fine, graphite doesn't really smudge either, so I bought these, but lately I've just been really enjoying using my mechanical pencil in here, so I already have a few of these. I don't know why I keep buying them in different colors. I guess I just like having them on hand. So I just finished drawing up this magician-y guy. I think he's pretty cool. So this is my colorless blender, and I used it, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but I used it like in the scarf and stuff to kind of break up the marker to sort of give it more of a texture. I did it on his skin as well, but I don't find it comes across as well as it does on the scarf, but it almost makes the ink like separate from itself. So like I can show you, let me pop this off. So if you have like, look at my little swatch things down here. So let's do this. So see how it kind of like starts to spread out? Isn't that so cool? I am still playing around with the colorless blender and like learning how to use it properly, but I just think that's so neat that you can kind of make a marker even more organic. Now I don't know how it would behave on other types of paper. I've just only used it in this sketchbook, but I'm interested to kind of see what else I can do with it. So that'll be cool. But I just did it with my like one of my cheap Artist Loft markers, and that's what happened. And it like significantly lightens it too. It's just, oh, it's so cool. So after I put my markers away, I kind of decided that it was time to reorganize this pencil case. This is everything that I have just pulled out of it. There was even like nail polish in there. This is accumulated over the months between moving apartments, and it's just such a hot mess right now that it needs to be fixed. This needs to be practical. I need to know what's in here so that I can grab it. There's a couple of things that shouldn't be in there to begin with. So let's get this cleaned up. So I just finished. It's still pretty stuffed, but it's a lot more organized than what it was, and I got rid of a lot of the stuff that I knew I never reached for in here, just so it makes a little bit more sense. Now this is, it's actually a cosmetics bag, and I recommend cosmetic bags versus actual pencil cases because they tend to be a little, they're not as expensive most of the time, and they're so much bigger. Like, you saw all that stuff. That was all in here. So if you need something that you can like bring with you, and I find they also tend to be made out of easy to clean material anyways, just in case like something spills inside of them. So I feel like if you need a new pencil case, look into cosmetic bags because those tend to be good. So in this little side pouch here, I just stuck a couple of my extra Colorless pencils. I know I have a couple more colors. I think they're downstairs, so when I find them, I'll pop them in there. I don't put anything too important usually in this little one. It's always been kind of the Colorless pencil pocket. So in the main pouch here, so this is where most of that stuff was. So I put another little pencil case. This is, I've had this one forever. It's super dirty and old. But in here, I just put a couple of my Prismacolor colored pencils in here, just to have them in case I want to use them. And then the rest of the pouch, bleh, it's mostly all of my microns and my black fine liners. And then I kept a couple highlighters in there. I find highlighters look really interesting in sketchbooks, and sometimes I like to go around like certain sketches and stuff with them just because they're so vibrant. I think they're really cool. And then there are, I don't know how well you can see them on camera, but there are two little like slitty pouches. I have to buy a new eraser because I don't like keeping my kneaded eraser in a pencil case because I find it gets all squished. Because mine didn't come with a cool case. So this is going to be where erasers will go. And then in this one I just have like my mechanical pencil lead. And then, put this guy back in. So the way I tried to organize this pencil case is that the things that I reach for the most are going to be here. So that I can just do this spun zip. And most of the things that I use in my everyday sketching are going to be right here. So this little pouch, I have all these colored fine liners that I got in a kit, just from a local bookstore. I don't even remember the brand, they're not high quality. But here's like all my important stuff. So I have my favorite sketching pen, which is just a pen I found, it's not from anywhere. Another ballpoint pen, two Colorless pencils, two white gel pens, a gold gel pen, and a mechanical pencil. I will reach for a mechanical pencil or a ballpoint pen for sketching more than any other tool, so I like having them right there. This is my favorite mechanical pencil, but there's like room if I need to go somewhere and stuff it in, but because it's my favorite and I use it a lot, I find I just like to keep it on my desk. This is kind of like a backup one, but they're both 0.5 milliliter lead if you need to know.
And he was really into complex and hot ones, and so us being on hot ones was like, at that point, that was the coolest that we have ever been.
Are you focusing? All right, okay, great. I didn't originally want to talk to you guys at all face to face or in this mirror, because every time I film chatting with you all in this mirror, I feel like I am directly copying Fran. Because I am copying Fran. But it's just such a convenient way to talk to you guys that, yeah, here we are. So I thought I would show you today something that I've been working on. I am doing a commission for a friend's D&D character, and I wanted to show you a little bit of my process. The way that I like to work is first I'll get a bunch of information on the person's character so I can kind of get a feel for like attitude and maybe what type of poses suit them. And then when I get all that info and anything else they want to send, I will come up with a couple thumbnails. I usually don't do more than 3, but because this is a friend of mine, I decided to do 6. And also I really like, this character is very on brand for me. So it gets to be a little self-indulgent too, like her color palette, she's an elf, like everything is like my taste. So she gets a little extra special treatment just because it's fun for me. So I did these 6 thumbnails really quick. So when I sent off these sketches to, her name is Nikki, she said that 2 and 4 she liked the best because this particular character can fly. And she liked that those ones kind of highlighted that ability, but we both, because this one's my personal favorite, we both really like the attitude and kind of feel of number 1. She really liked the legs in number 4 specifically, so taking those 3 into account, what I will then do is move on to a more detailed sketch for the pose and stuff like that. Sometimes people like thumbnails exactly, and I don't have to repose the character that much. I just have to make a good drawing based on the pose that I've done. But in this case, none of the thumbnails were perfect, so I kind of had to take the ones that she liked and make a like a new one based on those. So that's what I did here. So this is the sketch I came up with. I moved from here to here. So kind of like quick and simple, and then I go right into a pretty much, I could take this sketch and put it on a light table and start working on the actual finished piece. That's how I like to work. So I've done this sketch and I have just sent this off to Nikki to look at. So I'm basically just waiting for her to kind of see if she wants to make any changes. Everybody's a little different. Nikki is pretty chill for someone to like be a commissioner. She's very relaxed. She's been very generous and kind with the time allotted for me to work on this commission. She just kind of wants me to work on it when I have time and when I'm like feeling it. So that's very, very kind of her. Not everybody is as relaxed as that. That's actually one of the big reasons why I don't do commissions at conventions. I would like to change that in the future, but I've had enough run-ins with people who consistently ask for changes to the sketches and the line arts because they have a vision in their head, which is fine. But my artistic interpretation of the character and certain ways that I might emphasize certain traits or do lines and things like that, those two ideals don't always come together in a harmonious way, if that makes any sense. So I've been bitten a couple times now to sort of have learned my lesson, in the sense where once I would send off like this sketch, this stage, the client, in this case Nikki, will come back to me and tell me any changes she wants to make. I will make those changes and alterations, and then it's not the cutoff, but if she wants any changes past that point, it just costs a little bit more because that's more time for me. In a convention setting, it's kind of one of those things where I only have so much time to change your image. So I haven't done commissions at conventions specifically for that reason. I would like to be able to offer them again, but we'll see. But yeah, I just thought some of you might be interested in kind of knowing my thought process behind my work and what I like to do. Obviously it's different for everybody, every project is different, but in this particular case it kind of goes from step 1 to step 2, step 3 will be line art and finalizing, and then step 4 would be to color it, because she wants a fully colored piece. That's probably it for this little vlog. I know it's kind of just a mishmash of a bunch of things, but I wanted to leave you guys with a bit of a question to see what you would like to see. So this is a very large sketchbook. I believe it's about, I want to say 72 pages. I could be wrong. So it's big. And I have filled this much of it. So so this half is what I've done. This half is what I have left to do. So you can kind of get a good idea for it there. Where I know you guys like sketchbook tours so much, would you rather me wait until this one is finished and do a complete tour of the whole thing, or do you want it in 2 parts? So we can do that first half soon, and then we'll do the other half when I finish it, basically. So kind of like 2 mini sketchbook tours instead of 1 big one. So you let me know in the comments what you would prefer, and we'll go from there. Okay, I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.